Dick Gregory. I'm at the airport on my way out of Detroit. I was here last night for the storytellers to walk into a room that's packed. First time I ever been to a storyteller, but that's what the planet is about. Every religion could not survive if it wasn't about storytellers. Families couldn't survive if it wasn't about storytellers. But to come in there and hear people telling their story, real story, nothing made up, real. And I was just blown away. I just sit there and listen, and I mean, I've been in this business for never seen anything like it. I'm not saying it don't go on. I'm saying I've never seen anything like it. And so I just want to take this time before I get on my plane to say thank you. Thank you. And stay in touch with the storytellers. Because it can heal. You know, we go to the Baptist church and the choir get up, and my knee that was bothering me stops bothering me. The problems I walked in there with, threw them on the floor. That's what we witnessed last night.
And so we look at all this police stuff. The one thing you haven't looked at is thousands of black cops in America. You've never picked up the paper or read something where a white family's crying because some black cop shot their father or their sister in the head 20 times. You think black cops don't do that because they're more spiritual? They better train? No, they know white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. That's simple. And when you get to the point you ain't gonna tolerate it, but still, with your stupid self, going telling your boys, just want you to know when you go out here, some white racist cop might pull you over. Just be cool, be nice and polite. Anytime your daddy tell you to respect filth, that's a violation of God. Huh? Death is better. Huh? Because when you saying that to your child, something in their head tells them that they're the criminal. Because I can't believe my mother and father is going to teach me to respect somebody that might kill me. See how it works? Anytime you tell a black child you got to be twice as smart as a white child, they hear you saying they stupid. Huh? This is what this game is about. Huh? Stupid. Dad, if I get a good education, and that's something y'all should never tell a black child. Get a good education, behave yourself, and stay out of trouble. Well, didn't Obama do all that? Do they treat him like he's a murder thug on death row waiting to be killed? And y'all don't see through that? Huh? I talk to Obama every now and then. We ain't good friends because he ain't black enough for me. Just be black. Boy, they ain't gonna give you nothing. Behave, they ain't gonna do nothing. Just go out there. You know, I ran for president. Had I won, I'd have scared black folks. Yeah, I'd have scared black folks. First thing I would have done, after I finished being sworn in, I'd have went over to the White House and dug up that rose garden and planted me a watermelon patch. And I'd sit up on the balcony of the White House and eat watermelon every day for lunch and spit the seeds down on Pennsylvania Avenue. And I never thought I'd see the day I'd pray to God to be a white man, but I swear to God, I'm praying to be a white man. White folks are the luckiest people on the planet. Out of all the stuff that happened to black folks, when they finally get a black president, this nigga so behaved, dress nice, don't make no noise, don't get drunk. You see how lucky they are? If I would have been president, black folks and white folks would have been mad at me because I'd have held a press conference and said, I'm not hiring no white folks from my cabinet. Even niggas be on TV. He didn't mean that, so I say it 30 times. I'm not hiring no white folks from my cabinet. I'm not hiring no white folks from my cabinet. I'm not hiring no white folks from my cabinet. And then You black folks be mad because I said any black person in my cabinet, if you went further than the 3rd grade and know how to read, you don't qualify to be in my cabinet. Now, you know what that's about. That's how smart I am. If for 200 and some years, the only folks been in cabinets is rich white men, and if you see how bad they messed it up, I say, let's try something else. Let me bring Jabbo Jones in here. The nigga can't read or write, ain't got no money, drink cheap wine. I'm going to make him Secretary of Defense. And I know what them white folk going to do in 60 minutes. Now, Jabbo, now that you Secretary, what you plan on doing? He said, first I'm going to fix the fence, then paint it. And can you imagine, you the President of the United States, if he came here by himself, Obama, or New York, he can't get a cab. How are you going to tell people around the world what to do? And you can't do it. Huh? I went to New York by myself and held a press conference. The president said, y'all look at me now. I don't look like the president, but I beat the president. And you cab drivers, the first one of y'all passed by me on the corner, cut in there. See that? That's them tanks on the corner right behind. When they get through putting you together, no autopsy, nothing to be able to tell them who you are. Pass. And the bad part about it, New York had a black man. He didn't change it. And y'all tolerate this? This is a game. And then all them Secret Service agents walk in and out the White House when they get ready. Huh? And ain't nobody saying nothing about it. When he first got elected, Secret Service called me, said, Mr. Gregory? Yeah. He said, we Secret Service, President-elect Obama, we holding his inauguration. It's so cold, but we picking up the VIPs early because of the crowd. He said, what time do you want us to pick y'all up? I get into my nigger bag. Y'all is the same Secret Service that was in Dallas, Texas with Kennedy? No, not me. I get there on my own. Somewhere. So if I get 2 white folks here before you leave, just hang with me, because I'm fixing to open up a black airline, and the only way I can get minority loans is I have to have 2 whites. Ain't nothing personal. I just need 2 white folks so I can qualify from a minority set-aside. And I'm not going to be like most black folks. You know this is a black airline. It's going to be named Tamika Air. And my motto, we leaves late, but we get you there on time. And to all white folks, you'll never lose a bag on the airline because we're not going to let you bring none on. And we're going to be a good Christian airline. We ain't having no whiskey on our plane. You bring your own, we just sell you the setups. And you ain't gonna hear none of them crazy announcements like you do on white folks' airline. And if we're into an emergency situation and the oxygen comes down first, you adults put yours on first before you put your children. Well, shit, I was planning on doing that anyway. So you meet any white folks that got a problem about the airline, blame it on white folks. Airport is 99% white folks. Now, if you want to complain about Greyhound white folks, bring it to me. And I don't know why you white folks, do your father and mother love you? Y'all get on the airline going home. You can't buy a gift at Saks Fifth Avenue. You can't get it at the airline. What kind of relationship you got? Go to Greyhound and look. We travel. 90% of us travel. They ain't got no gift. I wouldn't take nothing to get home. That's mom and dad, brothers and sisters. They just welcome me with open arms. All they got at the Greyhound is a public phone, public restroom, and McDonald's. That's all. Ain't got no gift cards, no birthday cards, no welcome me home, mom. They don't need all that. And you white folks walk 10 miles to get on a jet. That's why they got them defibrillators out there. All y'all having heart attacks. Go to Greyhound. They'll bring that bus up to your toe. You don't have to walk nowhere. Your bags get lost 2 blocks before you get into the terminal. They say, this is your driver. Don't go to the luggage room. All the luggage got ripped off in Memphis. So a white guy was sitting on the plane to me because all ice storm we had to be. And they said, well, Jesus Christ, guy, what do you do? I said, well, at the airline, don't they say lost and found? At Greyhound, they just say lost. They never pretend that they're going to get you. Never pretended. You just go in there and take you a couple of bags. Yeah. Everybody traveling on Greyhound, you got the same similar bags, huh? Just go in there and get you through Kroger's A&P shopping bags and get out of there, huh? Well, I love Greyhound. Damn airplane crashed. The airline act like we didn't have that flight. They'll lie to you, then they have to admit it. Then they say the federal inspectors will be in tomorrow, and it takes us about 18 months to do the investigation. Now, get past all the bullshit. That means no check coming to you for at least 18 months. Just get that in. Greyhound. I saw Greyhound, a bus in Arizona, went 7 miles down the embankment. You know how Greyhound ended? So y'all don't need to rush out here now because we can look at that and know everybody dead. Well, what do you think it was? I'm sure the driver was on crack. That's what the skid marks look like. We ain't going to put no 800 number up because we all going to bed. We'll be here tomorrow. We give you free tickets on an airline to come out here and we'll settle it. Now, there's where your loved ones are. Now, you want to go down there? You go down there and get them. We ain't going to lose nobody. You can't get down there. So what's your name is? I can hear you. Rosie. So let's say your husband was on there, right? No, I didn't say that. We just playing. Until you there, we hugging you, patting you, and, you know. And now remember, the airline, you got to get a lawyer, they get 40%. And it takes about 2 years. So Greyhound, so you sure he was on this bus? Because we ain't verifying nothing. I'm going to show it to you, and you should feel the vibration. That white boy take his check out and write you a check for $12 million. No lawyer, that's all yours. Now, the worst thing about that, next Tuesday, you got to go to his funeral and act like you say it. Anyway, thank y'all. No, let me finish. Let me finish. You got Thanksgiving coming up. For the last 50 years, I celebrate Thanksgiving by fasting. You know, let's say I work for you, right? You pay me $1,000 a day, and I'm going to pick one day to thank you, okay? Like we do God. Thank you. Would I charge you nothing or charge you $5,000 for that day? Which one would make sense? Nothing. Yeah, we don't do that. Thank you, Lord God, for the abundance you give us. You eat more food there than you eat all year. So what abundance you've been getting, huh? Never think about the farmer. Never think about the Indian. And y'all need to be careful about homeless folks. Well, I don't give them no money. They didn't give them some whiskey. How you know? Were you there before? If you're scared to give them money, cook you a dozen hard-boiled eggs. Huh? And when you see them, give them 2 and put salt and pepper in it. Everybody ain't got no sugar, diabetes, high blood pressure like you. Them niggas like salt. You ever ate a hard-boiled egg with no salt and pepper? It don't even taste like a hard-boiled egg. So when you go out there giving them something, give them the salt first, and then the pepper. And then give them the eggs and run your ass off, because they might be, high blood pressure. They might die. You don't want to see a nigga die on your eggs. Huh? So, anyway, thank you. And kind of think about those folks in Buffalo, New York, when you go home tonight and walk into your house. We're talking about what kind of income you make. It's warm. The roof ain't about to fall in. Think about them. Just that quick. Somewhere. I was in one of them blizzards in Chicago. I just hit it big. I moved North Shore, serious rich white folks. And see the NAACP, and then when you're going to do something the first time, see, white folks, they want to rehearse your ass. No, rehearse them. They the one going to act a fool. No, Mr. Gregory, we just want to rehearse you. So the first time they hired a black bus driver in St. Louis. Never before. The urban league came in with the white folk and rehearsed this nigga how to. It don't work. He got out there the first day. White lady jumped on the bus and a nigga done stole the bus. It don't work. It do not work. You hear me? It do not work. So I'm in this white, they said the best for me and my family to move in during the Christmas holiday. Then white folks go to where it's warm. So when I move in, they won't even be there. So about 1 week after the New Year's, that's when they started coming back. We got the worst blizzard. I'm out there shoveling the snow, and this white woman and her husband walks up to me, just got back in. Hey, excuse me, boy. Geez, that's a good job you're doing. Said, would you take care of ours? That house right next there? Yeah. He said, what do you get for doing that? I said, I get to sleep with the woman inside. So I looked at this old lady and said, you want me to do yours now? And that's when I found out how much power white folk got. It never snowed there for the next 10 years. And so we're going to get out of here. Where y'all working? Him and Chris Tucker. Y'all got your ticket? The Fox Theater, yeah. Chris, that boy got a strange little voice, ain't he? And he must have made that Chinese mad, right? You know, they made billions of dollars, not them. Now, the boy got some money. But him and the Chinese fell out. And they're not making no more. I had to grab that Chinese boy. I said, read this script, nigga. We're going to do 2 more movies. But he's a good brother, man. He's a good brother. And here's the funny, his brother, it's funny if y'all have him. It's funny. Stand up, let me see you. So thank y'all, and no, not yet. I haven't released you. Thank y'all for putting it in, and please support the folks, and then learn something from it. Be still. What the Bible say? Be still and listen. Huh? Y'all ain't still. I look all the way through the Bible. I never seen the word cocaine, Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, chitlins. I see fasting all through the Bible. Y'all don't fast, but all that other shit they don't mean. Y'all be doing it. Are y'all crazy? Are you crazy? Somewhere. So, and start thinking about some folks now. Sometimes go to Walmart's, huh? And take them some eggs. You don't need to take them no salt. They got piles of salt and pepper there. Just, you know. And then meditate every now and then. And don't believe most of that stuff your grandma, they didn't know. Like my mama, before she died, I heard her discussing that you shouldn't pray to God when you're gambling. That sounds good to me. I'm a little boy. Let me tell you, 10 years ago when that lottery went up to $600 million, you talking about the nigga praying. I said, God, you know my mama didn't know what she's talking about. My mama was dead at 42. She didn't know nothing. So I'm just saying to you, God, I got me a lottery and showed it because I got a brother in St. Louis. He'll pray to win and ain't bought no ticket. That's a miracle. Here's my ticket right here. Please let me win, okay? And God, you know my heart. You know my heart. You know I'm going to do the right thing with that $600 million. Huh? Now, God, see, you can't mess with the church. You can't mess with the real God. So I said, God, and I just want to clear up something. I don't think I'd leave my wife if I win that $600 million. But God, you know I ain't never had $600 million at one time. No, you see things different when you got big money. Huh? Y'all see things different just on the weekend when you got that old paycheck. Everything you couldn't afford, you can afford it now. And I wish you white folks would get on these Negroes because they're listening to you. How they take their children to Disneyland to see a rat, but haven't carried them to King's grave or his tomb. And had he not died, you wouldn't be welcome there. Huh? But nobody tell y'all what kind of thugs y'all are spiritually. Man, huh? Call his house at 4 in the morning, say we're going to kill you and the children. And he can't call the police because the police made the call. Huh? At all. This is a game. And so somewhere, when I was talking to God, I said, God, well, I must have said something wrong because I sure didn't win the next day. But I said, God, you know, 600 million, people look different to you. I walk in the house and see Lil, hey, girlfriend, what's wrong with your neck? Nigga, you know I've had this hump in my back ever since we've been married. I did not see you till I picked up that check. So you do see things different, right? And you white folk got to stop letting these black folk believe that ain't no difference. Everything's, they don't believe that. You don't believe it. Huh? And if you believe it, look at that Cialis commercial. And if you have a 4-hour erection, call the emergency room. Now, you know that's for white folks. Because when I hear that, I call the pharmacy. I call that a treat, not an emergency, and say, how long I'm going to come by there and tip you so you never cut my stuff off, right? And then these children, they hear them commercials. One of my grandchildren was 6 years old. Granddad, what's an erection? I said, ask your grandmother. He came back with that grin on his face. I said, what you smiling? She told me to tell you she'll tell me later, but meanwhile, to tell you she ain't seen one of them things around the house in years. Thank you. God bless. Peace to you. Happy holiday.
Mr. Dick Gregory, ladies and gentlemen.